Welcome back to episode 19 of Dusty's Survival Series. This month we show you the results of our spending spree. Dusty becomes a landlord twice over, and we take it to the next level with some hardcore machinery. Good morning everybody and welcome back to Dusty's Survival Series. We have had a very busy interim between the end of January and this current month, February. There's an awful lot to show you up at the farm. But first of all, Dusty and I down at the shop because we want to pick up some new equipment. Let's have a bit of a status check. It's about 7:30 in the morning. We've got about 48 grand in the bank and I will talk you through where we spent all our money just shortly. So we've just purchased the iExter B18 sprayer. It does 18 meters, but it can be upgraded to 24 if at any point in the future we feel like, well, I don't know, like we're going to get some bigger fields. So this is a nice looking piece of equipment. I think this is going to help us with our farm work for sure.
Come on, computer guy. I want to show everyone our new stuff.
Yeah, of course, Dusty. Sorry, you lead the way. Dusty is very excited to show you what we've been working on and how we spent our money. Now I know there were a few ideas from you all, but in the end Dusty and I had to sit down and just work out where we wanted to take things going forward. So we're all aware of the spinnery, we're just coming past there. Oh nice, 3 pallets, we'll come pick that up shortly. And the reason we'll come pick that up shortly is because Dusty managed to get himself some rather tasty planning permission on a small parcel of land next door to the sawmill. And here it is coming up right now. I present to you Dusty's Threads, a new tailor built by Dusty in his hometown of Erlengrat. Dusty managed to get the contractors in to put this lovely building up, and this is now going to supplement the wall that we create and then convert into fabric down at the spinnery, because we can now take that fabric and turn it into clothes here at Dusty's Threads. Dusty's just going to drive in and park up, and we'll have a little walk around and show you the property. He's really proud of this one. So we're just at the side here, the back corner with the car park. This is the rear elevation. We've got a nice rear access should we need it. We've got access directly underneath for storage. We have a garage here that we can use for storing all various bits of equipment and obviously all of the output from the tailors itself. Little stroll around the back here. We've got access to the roof should we need it. We can pop up there. Let's go take a look. Not really a whole lot to see up here if we're honest, but we can get ourselves up and over should we need to do any roof repairs, which is fantastic. Right, let's get back down that ladder, Dusty. So we have a nice tradesman's entrance here. The Needle and Stitch, which is what it was called before, it's now known as Dusty's Threads. And of course the front elevation that we saw on the way in. Dusty quite cleverly put in a pair of gates this side because where we come in and overload the fabric, it will be good to just be able to whiz round and go straight out without having to do any complicated reversing manoeuvres. And there we are, back round to Dusty's truck. And the other thing to highlight, and there's a couple of pallets of old building materials there, is the fact that this truck comes with the tailors. So we actually have a new vehicle which will allow us to do short runs backwards and forwards between here and the spinnery. And I think, Dusty, that's a job we can get on with right now.
Yeah, I saw 3 pallets of fabric on the way in. Let's go get that now.
Oh, what's it like to drive, Dusty?
It ain't too bad. I've driven better, obviously, but this'll do the job well.
What's the interior like?
Take a look. It's, well, it's pretty basic. But geez, we're only driving from the spinnery to my new tailors, so what does it matter? I could probably even use my old truck.
Yeah, you could, but hey ho, we've got something to use, why not use it? Beautiful side door opening. Is that the same on both sides, Dusty?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I can do the back as well.
Fantastic. That's got pretty sizable load bed as well. I reckon we'll get all 3 pallets in there if we do it right. There we go. That's looking nice and tasty. Okay, we need to get that strapped down. Can we get one round the back here? There's one there on the floor. Don't think that's going to make a difference. Okay. Right, you're all good to go, Dusty. I'll see you back at the tailor's. And there we go, Dusty's unloaded everything. Right, let's just park up and have a quick chat about the next thing we got on with at the end of last month. The tailors cost Dusty about 100 grand, and we had about 270 by the time we'd finished, which was brilliant, absolutely amazing. So 100 grand spent on the tailor, and so that left us with 170, 171 give or take. So then we had a good think about what's next. What can we be working on? Do we want to buy a new field? Well, yes, but that would involve getting more equipment. A bigger combine would definitely be required. All the equipment associated with that. So instead, we decided to have a look at the sawmill. So welcome everybody to Dusty's sawmill. He's finally gone pro. Here we are. Welcome to Dusty's Got Wood. So I'll have a look around and just take you around. I mean, I'm sure you've seen all this before. We've been here, I don't know, a dozen, 2 dozen, 30 times. Who knows? You check back and let me know. But yeah, this is a big operation. This again was another 100 grand, but it means now that we have full access to the chipping area, so we can put our wood chips in here, and that will give us a little bit of revenue. And of course we can send down any lumber now straight into the sawmill, which we then can convert into logs. And I'm thinking at some point in the future we can get our hands on the carpenters, because then we can start to use those planks to make some furniture. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we are definitely on the road when it comes to full-blown professional production chains.
There's one thing I never told you. In fact, wow, she just brushed right past me. Do you see that? I might have to go talk to that fine lady. Anyway, I get distracted as well, you know I do. Anyway, what was I saying?
You were talking about something. In fact, I don't know what you were talking about.
Oh yeah, I remember. The best thing about the sawmill deal was we got some equipment thrown in. Some professional grade hardcore machinery. You want me to show you?
Yeah, Dusty, come on, let's have a look. I'm keen. What are we talking about? A bigger chainsaw?
Oh no, it's much better than that, YouTube guy. Are you ready? Look at that. That's an absolute thing of beauty.
Whoa, Jesus, Dusty. It's even got your personalised plates on it.
Yeah, I ain't messing around. And you know what? I want to take it for a ride right now.
Well, let's go for it, Dusty. Come on. Oh, look at that. There's a peach. Right, start her up, Dusty. Yes. Oh, a nice rear axle steering there. Gets you around the tight angles.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Look at the chunky tyres on that thing. Wow.
We ain't gonna have no more problems getting up those hills.
Right, give us some lights then. Nice. Got your mains. Oh, wow. Yeah, okay, that's bright enough. And you got lights on the main rig as well. Beautiful. What a piece of kit. This must have cost about 80, 90 grand anyway.
Take a look at the interior. Man, it's better than my shack.
Yeah, we should do something about your shack at some point, but I don't think it's a priority right now.
Well, it may not be a priority for you, but yeah, I would like to have a nicer home to live in at some point.
Well, let's get going then, Dusty. Come on. Right, nice. So we're going to head up, down the road and back again?
Nope. I got someone else to show you.
Well, where are you going?
Just hold your horses, YouTube guy.
Oh, she's got a trailer as well.
Yep, look at that. That's a sight for sore eyes. Y'all remember when I used to put things on the back of my truck? God, what a damn pain in the ass that was.
Well, we are loaded up. Well, you know what, Dusty? Why don't we just go and do some logging?
You took the thoughts right out of my mouth.
Well, what a turn up. I tell you what, Dusty is definitely on the way up. Mind that sign, Dusty. I don't think he's too bothered. Mind that one as well. Oh dear. Dear, oh dear. Well, if he carries on the rate he's on, he's going to be mayor of this town in no time at all. And while we're heading back in the new forestry truck, let's have a look at where we are on the old HUD. The crop calendar is telling us, well, that pretty much there's nothing that we can put in apart from cotton, and we're not interested in that at all at the minute. Weather, well, we're in for sun now. If we just scroll along, we can see, yeah, sun and a little bit of cloud. We have pretty much bypassed the snowy season. It's been so mild here over winter. We had, I think, a little bit of a flurry at the end of November. December was a bit white, and we had a little bit in January, but that was it. We've got soybeans still in our silo, which will need to be sold at some point. Looking at the calendar, that's June, so we've got nothing to worry about there for a little while. Fabric is now irrelevant because we're going to be using fabric to feed our tailor, so it's clothes we need to look at, and April is the selling month, so I wonder how many clothes we can get out of the tailor by April. Who knows, but looking at those figures, 31,000, we're in for some good money when that eventually does need selling. But it's definitely honey month. It's February. We have got loads of honey back at the homestead, so that is a job that we need to get on with later. And the last one we now have is planks, now that we're creating planks from our lumber, and that is the summertime, so again June, July. So we can really get a move on with that, and actually let's jump across and have a look at the state of our production chains. So the sawmill is already producing fantastic. We put in so much wood, it's not surprising that at some points we were finding we were hardly making any money. They just had an absolute glut. There was no reason to give us a high price. So 78,000 litres of wood. We are already outputting 4,000 litres of planks. Now it's odd that it's in litres, but you know what I mean. 4,000 units, put it that way. And we're also making wood chips as well, which will sit in storage. So that's brilliant. That's underway. However, if we go down to the bottom here, Dusty's threads. Let's have a look. Fabric. We've loaded in the fabric here, but we need to turn this one on. So let's activate and start producing some clothes. Right, we're back at our meadow, which is already looking like it needs cutting. We'll probably deal with that next month. So this is the spinney, and I feel like we can pretty much empty this out. The reason is because we've actually been planting a fair amount of trees at the end of last month. So I already told you about the 100 grand we spent on the tailors, but then we also spent 100 grand on the sawmill. And then Dusty also wanted to make sure that the homestead was looking spick and span. So we've got some fencing done, a little bit of landscaping. He's plumbed in a whole load of street lamps. And the last thing we looked at was planting some trees. So we'll have a look at the homestead in a minute. But for now, let's get underway with a little bit of lumberjacking.
can see why they gave this truck away for free. It looks good, but it ain't got no traction. Yeah, I'm getting pretty fed up with this truck. Might have to sell it and buy something better.
You seem to be really struggling there, Dusty, and you've got proper grippy tyres on as well.
I'm just spinning on the grass. I ain't even got a full load on. I'm gonna blow the transmission at this rate.
Okay, Dusty, you might just want to go with that then.
Oh man, I was so looking forward to this being a new way of doing things. I'm pretty disappointed. Here, take a look at this, computer guy. I've unhitched the trailer. I still ain't got no drive. I'm getting real slippage on the transmission. Something ain't locking in properly. I think I need to take this in for repair, or maybe just get a new tractor engine.
Yeah, it's not looking right, is it, Dusty? You're just slipping all over the place. It's almost like it's just not engaging properly. Is there a problem with your slip differential?
Yeah, it could be. I'd have to get this thing up on a ramp. I don't think we've got time.
Well, that is a major shame. Okay, you know, we'll take the rough with the smooth. We've got ourselves the sawmill, and they chucked in this spare truck and the trailer. I think the trailer's absolutely fine, and the grab on the head unit's fine, but yeah, it's just something's wrong with the transmission. Dusty just can't get any drive out of it, and I think that's probably why they chucked it in with the deal. Okay, never mind, we're going to have to deal with this later. Sad news about the new truck and trailer, but let's have a look at what we've changed at the homestead. This is a nice top-down view, bird's eye view up in drone cam. Let's drop down an altitude and have a closer look. So one thing Dusty was quite concerned about was the chopping down of the trees early days. He's very much a guy of nature, and the scenery around here is absolutely stunning. So one of the things you will notice is that we've had some trees planted. We've got some saplings, we've got some young trees, and we chucked in a little bit of extra cash to get some more mature ones as well. On the left hand side going up towards the hotel are some oak trees, and they look rather in keeping with the ones that were there existing. Down by the chickens we've now got some various evergreens, some spruces and some fir trees, and they're looking rather nice as well. You can see obviously as well that Dusty's been working hard on his fencing. Most of that was actually cost effective because he just used lots of old bits of wood, dead wood that's around the area just to make that work. Plus when we bought the sawmill there was a whole raft of old useless wood that no one's going to use for furniture, and so Dusty brought that up here and he's finished off most of his fence work. He also spent some time putting in lots of lighting, and I think he's got a little soft spot for this road. It's weird. I think because when we met Dusty, this is where he was. He was right at the top, and so he wanted to light this right up to his little rocky entrance up there. And I think at some point he's going to add himself maybe some seating, a couple of benches, just so he can sit and have a look at the gorgeous scenery. And that really isn't a bad view, is it, ladies and gentlemen? This is where we came in some 14-15 months ago, and life has changed a lot since. Let's have a jump across to the fields and see what else we've done in the month of January. Dusty moved the original beehives that we had on the middle field, and he's also invested in a couple of these larger 12 bay boxes, so we should be making more honey as well, which is fantastic, and each field has one of these, so we'll also get a minor yield bonus on each of the fields. More lighting here on the main tracks up to the silo and the greenhouses, just to make sure that we can see what we're doing late at night. And the all-important fence that we talked about a couple of episodes ago, just to prevent any animals or even humans falling over into this rather steep ravine that we now have housing our sheep. And Dusty placed a couple more trees up here just to bring back the original landscape that it was when we first moved in. We've got an extra light for working of an evening, and here you can see one of the other beehives. Other than that, I think this farm is really starting to look stunning. It's very natural. He's kept everything in keeping with the local surroundings, and I think you can agree that Dusty really is doing well for himself. He's got a real touch for this sort of stuff. Last but not least, Dusty invested in a weather station here, which allows us just to get a better bearing on the weather from 1 hour to the next. Not a huge investment, but certainly useful now that we have crops and we have fields.
I'm just loading on the lettuce. Might as well sell them now. We've got 4 crates, and this is the best time to get rid.
Good idea, Dusty. Pick up the honey as well and we'll get the whole lot shot.
Exactly.
Dusty, while I'm in here, there's also 3 pallets of fabric. We might as well take that down to the tailors, wouldn't we?
Chuck it on the back.
Just get this strapped on for Dusty. Strap over there. Not very well positioned. I haven't done a great job here. Really could do with some sort of, I don't know, forklift, or I don't know, we'll get into that, but some sort of piece of equipment, because we are starting to produce a lot of pallets and they're heavy and it takes such a while doing it manually. Yeah, anyway, that's a thought for another day. Right, is there any more left in here? No, I think we're good. Now Dusty's had a genius idea. He said if we could just get it turned around, then he could actually use the truck to pull safely along the road, and I think he's absolutely right. On that sign, oh, never mind. So yeah, we managed to get the tractor to pull the truck out, and we managed to hitch up the Flegel flatbed onto the Flegel log wagon. I'm not entirely sure of the actual name of that piece of equipment. I'm sure the woodsman will tell me. That's all looking good. So Dusty is on his way to basically go on a massive selling mission. Great job, Dusty. Oh, Dusty's here. He's made it. I don't know how he's going to turn this great big long vehicle round in the road, but we do have a 3-point hitch on the Flegel at the back, so it should just follow suit. Dusty's been quite smart about this actually. He's actually gone and turned round and is coming in from the other direction. There we go. So we can get to the offloading area, which is about there, and get all that offloaded. Top work, Dusty, top work. Right, let's go to this offloading area. Now, I presume we're not going to sell this. Yes, that makes sense. So that goes straight into our production chain. So we're now at 90,000 litres? Lengths? Let's call it lengths. 90,000 lengths of wood. And yeah, planks are coming out the other end. So now we need to go and offload the other items on the back of the truck. We're just noticing, Dusty and I, we're even having issues now. Look, when he's pulling away, huge amounts of slippage. The wheels are just awful. They have no traction. We might have to go and change the tyres and see if that makes any difference at all. Dusty decided to park up, and we're going to go off and get the van because it's much easier to manoeuvre with the van. We've done the main logistics of getting all this stuff down here. So let's go pick up what we need and wazz it around to the various locations. Right, I'm having a go this time. It's not dissimilar from a Ford Transit, if I'm honest, but white van man is a white van man. There's a signpost over there. I wonder who's knocked that over. Right, let's not hit this pedestrian. Get alongside, we can just whack it straight in. Right, that's all looking good. I've got that loaded. Right, I'm going to whiz that back to the tailor. Thank you, kind driver. Right, I've just left the back doors open just so you can see unloading. Let's just undo the straps. There we go. And that's all going in. Fantastic job. Happy days. Brilliant. Some might say this is potentially overkill for a trip to the supermarket, but hey ho, not a problem. Cool, he's going to have to take this wide. Wow, he's made it. Top driving, Dusty. Top driving. Before Dusty heads to sell, let's just have a look at what we've got on board. So 2,000 units of lettuce, 3,038 jars of honey. Very good. 21 grand in the bank. Well, call it 22. Let's see what we can make on this haul. So it looks like the lettuce and the honey's going in. Doing this really at a distance here. So 7,000 for that lot. Dusty, can you back up by about 2 meters?
Okay, you're gonna have to call it in.
Yeah, come back a bit then. Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Just on that corner there. Okay, that's the lettuce done. Dusty, just take it forward slowly!
All right.
God, when I said slowly, I didn't mean charging forward. Whoa! And that's the honey done. So not too bad. I mean, not brilliant. I was expecting a lot more for the honey. I must admit, it felt like a lot for little gain there. But we're on 38 grand. I'll be honest, viewer, I don't remember what we had 2 minutes ago before we started to unload. But yeah, not a huge amount. I think, what did we say, 22, 23? Yeah, 10, 11, 12 grand or so. It's alright.
Computer guy, we really need to repair the Landini. I'm gonna give it a bit of a fix-up, and then I'll go down to the shop and pick up the sprayer.
Great idea, Dusty. Thanks for that.
All done. I'm gonna head down to the store.
While Dusty's heading down to the store to pick up the new sprayer and hopefully some liquid fertiliser, I'm going to load on the complete pallets of wool because that desperately needs to get down to the spinnery to keep our production chain churning. Okay, I'm all loaded. I've got everything in. We've got 3, I think it is. Yeah, 3 full pallets. That's looking fantastic. Right, I'll jump on board, get the doors closed and get that sent down to the spinnery. Right, I'm here. Okay, let's get this unloaded. 3,745 litres of wool, so we're back in production. Okay, we'll come back and collect the fabric when it's ready. Dusty has returned. I think he's going to drop the sprayer off in the hard standing area just because we're not going to need it just yet. As and when we need to do some weeding, then it's there and ready. So that's a good investment. Perfect, well done, Dusty. Okay, I'll have a quick look, but I think that may well be it for the day. We can do a bit of tidying up off camera. I don't think that's a big problem. We could do with getting all the trailers up towards the silo. There's some eggs to collect, but again, that's not particularly urgent. All is good. It's been a nice calm month. Not much going on from a work point of view, but certainly lots going on from a selling point of view. That was a super calm day here on Dusty's homestead. Thank you for joining me again. We managed to get so much stuff sold in the month before, and it was a real pleasure to show you around all of the changes and updates we've made. It feels like a next phase in the Dusty Survival series. Certainly we now have 2 key production chains in wool right through to the tailor, thus creating clothes, and of course we've got now an opportunity to take all that lumber we were creating for quick cash and to turn that into planks. Now down the road, as I mentioned, I think we'll get into some form of carpentry, and that will be excellent. And there's also the opportunity to start up some other production chains, but those are going to have a bearing on what input we have, and we don't have anything for milk or anything along those lines just yet. So there's options, people. There's options for the future. I have a feeling Dusty may want to get into some bigger fields. Our fields are just about covering costs in terms of crops for animals and cash, but now we've got some big production chains. It's time to up our game. Thank you for joining me here today. I'll stick 2 cards on the screen, one for our 2 Falls and a Farm series and another for the Dusty Survival series, so you can see any episodes you may have missed. Until next time, take care. Bye bye.